Hi everybody, this is Michelle Gray, and most of you know me, but you don't know my other half here, which is Rob Gray. This is my husband.
Hi.
And I know that he's not as much of a talker as I am, although actually that's not true. He is a talker, but he talks mostly about motorcycles and things like that. So this is a little different for him. So we'll give him a big round of applause for doing this. What we're going to talk about is we want to talk about the services that Elisa has done for our family. The Scalar service, I can't even talk. Specifically, the microbiome that she did for gut health. And we had an amazing experience just recently. And Rob was actually in the process of writing Elisa an email. And we decided to do the video instead because there's a little bit to this story that Elisa doesn't know yet. So as she's watching this, she's going to find out as well what the whole story is. So as many of you know, back in the summertime, Rob was having some health concerns. He had gone in an ambulance a couple times. We didn't know if there was something wrong with his heart. He was having a lot of pain. And after a variety of tests, we had found out that he was diabetic and got put on, some medications and started to improve. Started to make a lot of changes in his own diet, and he's lost a great deal of weight in the last little while. But what ended up happening, and this is kind of one of those divine interventions, this is part of what Eric has told me too, is that because of Rob going in and being looked at for everything else, they discovered that his PSA levels were high. And he had to go and get some testing done, and he went to a specialist, and he was told in September, end of August, that he had prostate cancer. So as many of you may know, cancer is not something that our family has not gone through. We've gone through cancer. Now this would be our third time, fourth time actually, when we include years ago I had a little bit of skin cancer. So be our fourth time. But Rob had kidney cancer 3 years ago now, I think it was 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And he had a tumor removed. And so it's not that we're not familiar with this. We're definitely mentally, physically, and emotionally in a better state. But of course, hearing that news was very upsetting and concerning, specifically for our kids. So we started the process of getting testing done, and Rob was then sent, or he got the news from his specialist, but he had to go for a biopsy, which
not suggested.
No, it wasn't very comfortable for him. But in the biopsy, he what they were doing, the results of that would determine, what stage is the cancer at, what grade, what kind of treatment will he get. So that was in September that he had the biopsy done. And I think they originally said they were going to take 6 samples, and they took something like 14. I keep saying 17.
So much fun.
But so that was done, and then the next stage was to wait for the results to find out what the next steps would be. Surgery, chemo, we weren't sure. Now, the entire time this was going on, many of you know that Rob wasn't feeling very well. I had taken some time off to be with my family and to be with Rob, and it was a tough little period that we were going through. Elisa had mentioned that she was going to work on the microbiome optimization for Rob, myself, and for our son Marcus. And for those of you that don't know, our son Marcus is 10 years old and has autism. He has level 2 autism, ADHD, and echolalia. And Elisa has done a lot of work on Marcus, and there's been a lot of improvements over the last couple of years in Marcus's speech, his communication. He's a funny little kid, but that's another story. So we were told by the doctors that they thought Rob's cancer was going to be
Not exactly.
That's what she told me.
Yeah, I know, but it was how he brought it up. He brought it up on a Friday, and the surgeon had called, and he was in shock that I was better. He said, "You have no cancer."
Well, we haven't got to that part yet.
Oh, okay, never mind.
You just blew the story.
Okay.
You just told the ending. Isn't it just like, it's just how it goes, isn't it? He just blew the story. No. No, what I was going to say was we thought, okay, the surgeon had told us, or the oncologist had told us from the beginning that they had figured and thought that it would be a
Stage
small
3 or 4.
or no, a small cancer in the beginning before Dr. Thompson told you.
Well, oh yeah,
said,
yeah,
right?
that's true.
So,
story again.
yes, go in the story again, Rob. Follow suit here.
You wanted me on here.
So anyway, to make a long story short, we figured, okay, maybe some surgery. We were hoping it wouldn't include chemo or anything, but during this whole time, you know, there were a lot of prayers and healing and everything being sent. And Elisa, so at this point, we're waiting for the results, okay? So it was coming into, we were supposed to get it this one, I think September, the last week of September, we were supposed to get it, and they called and said they didn't have the results in, so they waited another week. And during that week, Elisa had messaged me and said that she had done the services. Now, I knew that she did the services because when Elisa has done scalar work on me before, and it's just how my body releases toxins, I'm in the bathroom peeing all day. And I was all day and all night, and I was exhausted. And I knew, and I said to Rob, I know that Elisa has worked on us. I know she's worked on us. I can tell. I can feel it. And Rob's been all game for it. He's well accustomed to the journey that I've been on, and he's been on his own journey as well. And so he's quite familiar with a lot of the healing and with scalar work and everything as well. So what it came down to was Rob got contacted, and this was a phone appointment. He was contacted by the doctor, and the doctor said to Rob, the surgeon said to Rob, that he can't believe he's saying this. He hasn't seen this. Like, he sees this all the time. He just didn't even know what to think, but he says there's no cancer. Like, there's nothing there. Now, he said that he did comment, you know, there are some cells, and he gave a name for it, so they're gonna
APAS cells.
They're gonna follow up in 4 months and just make sure all is good. But out of all of those samples they took, no cancer.
I really don't want that biopsy done again. That was
no
porcupine in the butt.
So we were cheering up and down. We were shocked, and I think it even took us a little time to process it.
And my PSA's down to 2.
Yeah.
From 8.6 or whatever it was.
Yes, the PSA dropped down.
The nodule I had is gone.
Yes.
So
completely gone. Like, this is crazy. Okay? It's a miracle. It truly is a miracle. And this is the part that, Elisa, you don't know yet, and that we haven't shared outwardly to anybody, is that on Halloween, we got a phone call. Rob got a phone call. He was renewing a prescription from our family doctor. And the family doctor said what, Rob?
He said that he was holding back from telling me that it was stage 3 or 4, because when they all got together with the radiology doctor, and they got together with the surgeon and himself, and they all talked about me. Maybe feel good that they talked about me. They were convinced it was stage 3 or 4, and apparently they were wrong. Now, well, at least now they're wrong.
He was saying congratulations, and was also in complete shock and surprise, because not only were they seeing that it wasn't at the stage that they thought they were going to share with us, and our family doctor's been with us for over 20 years, so he knows what we've been through, and he was beside himself with having to share that news with us. And so to be able to say there's nothing there is an absolute miracle. So that I myself feel like I have a lot more energy. I have changes in my skin, which Rob has seen, because I have had problems with my skin after I had cancer. So there's improvement in my skin from the service. And Marcus we were just talking about this morning, is that Marcus has had some changes with his bowels. Without getting too detailed, there's something shifting in him, because he's gone from having a little bit of a bowel problem and going all the time to becoming a little bit more regular, which is very interesting to see, and it is still in the process of changing. And it's also affecting his communication as well, because we notice every time he has scalar work done, the communication part there's always something new that comes up. But anyway, Elisa, we love you. We thank you so much. And the divine team, Eric, it's a miracle.
Yeah, thanks, Elisa. It saves me from writing an email that would probably have a lot of spelling mistakes. It's good.
You can hang around. Bye.
Bye.